Alright, so there's a lot of stuff out there in the news or whatever. I don't really follow that whole news thing too much. I think the better off you are staying away from that stuff. The healthier you'll be upstairs in your mind, because there's a lot of chaos out there. And what I'm seeing lately is a lot of black people wanting their own areas and things like that, which is good. They're entitled to whatever they want as far as I'm concerned. I don't think that there should be a whole big hubbub by white people about it. This is a country which has freedom and is united. But I understand where the African American community and the black community is coming from. With if there was an all-white graduation ceremony or something like that, it really shows that there's not really a whole lot of diversity being included. And if white people don't understand that, I don't really have the time to explain that. It's not racist. But what they have to be careful with, as far as like the black community, is that all this trickster magic and stuff, there's the word white trickster devils and all that. The trickster type of magic and ploys, they work backwards off the inverse. So you have to be careful at the same time you are celebrating your own culture, and including blacks only, that you're not getting pushed back into segregation or a colored spaces only type of deal all over again. This time backwards. You see how it's kind of inverted? This time they're kind of letting people do it themselves. So it's one thing to celebrate our own cultures or whatever, but really in the end it's all people, and we should seek to include everybody. And that's the way I see it, is that some people are silly. White people are pretty silly in general. You can see it from the rap they do, to the music they do, to the kind of shit that they do. They say some funny stuff. They're a little bit silly. They're not any Eddie Murphy or anybody like that. They're not Richard Pryor, but they do have some funny stuff to offer. So I think it's important we seek to include everybody, and that if somebody's having trouble and they start acting out, as in a situation where white people want to say, oh, if we did that, that would be racist, that we don't feed into that negativity, that we don't get involved in that kind of thing. Some people are just weak in general. They need a shepherd. They need a daddy or a father or a guardian, some type of figure like that, a mother type, to kind of show them right from wrong. At the same time, we can't be loading our minds with the fact that we're right or the other guy's wrong. Because if I put I'm good here, then I get they are bad out there. Or if I put I'm right here, then I get they are wrong out there. And when I'm doing that, then I become more excitable. I become more agitated. I can become more hostile. The other way is to just be, without being inside of duality. Without trying to say I own this culture, or this is my stuff, or this is my culture. Culture, to me, is something that blocks out the roots. And the roots is that it's all people. Now when we add a culture, a layer of culture over that, then what we start getting is duality. We start getting bias. We start getting, this is mine, and this is his, and this is hers. And we start to get, we get possessive. Which is really just we become possessed by these things, like empty ideas. And I will say that Albert Einstein, relativity, it does increase and condition people to be more biased. as I was saying earlier, if I place a good here, a good is just a relative subjective idea of the self. And the self is a person which can never become an idea of itself, which is basic logic pretty much. But relativity conditions people to be more biased, or allows them to be more biased, and they sort of just go along with it. And over time, that just conditions them naturally, because that's what happens in repetition. And so the root of racism is bias. So when people become more biased, then they have this racism which comes afterwards. So that's one of the things that's a problem with relativity. I don't agree with relativity. I only believe in the truth and the roots, which is that it's all people. That's one of the roots, and the way you can find the roots is, reductionism, I think is what they call it, or reducing back to what is, what's behind the matter. Not exactly what is the matter, or the veil, or the cover, which when we see is genders, white and black, Puerto Rican and Oriental, Jewish and Christian. Those are all ideas after the self, and nobody can become those ideas, and that just causes a whole bunch of chaos and controversy. So we got to steer clear of all that ideas and ideals, which I think are no good for society and a healthy mind in general, to become fragmented and unwhole like that. The whole world is people. Whole, holy, and holy will be the generic sort of terms, I guess you could say, for that. And the whole world can say that they are, that they just are, or the whole world can say that it is the I am, which is basically what it is. So if I say that I am, then everyone else can say that they are as well, without any chaff after the wheat. And the I am is the wheat, the rhetoric and ideas are chaff after the wheat, which all causes division and controversy. So I basically, for a long time, and you could look on my Facebook, or you might have seen me around already, I say that I am with the addition of nothing. That way, who can say that I am not? Then it kind of turns around on them as I am not what? And they can't really answer that. That's one of the powers of the void, and there really is only the void, and the self is an illusion thereafter the void. And the void is everything, nothing and everything. It's a black hole. There's all kinds of examples I can show you that, cause that sort of flip-flop table-turning effect. And some people call it pseudoscience or whatever, but it's really a type of magic. And, that's the magic and the power in the I am. Is that if you say that I am not white, I really don't care. I don't associate myself in the culture, or the machine as I like to call it. I really don't get involved in that. If you say that I am white, it doesn't really show you anything. We have to get to know each other. We can't just do, thinking like that, which is bias, where it says, oh, that's white, and that means this and that. Because we really don't know. And even when we think we know, that's not what all that is. That's not, if I say the guy over there is trouble, that's not the end result of him. He just might need a touch and a spark from somebody. And then he becomes something different. Not become something different in idea, but actions and behavior, and his thought process, or the person's thought process. I got my dog Vance with me here today. He's a good boy. He's hanging out for the video. But what we see isn't what is. And then it's not the future of things either. And we always all have the potential to make things better for the future. So what we see is not what is, because we haven't added our own power and our own touch of divine spark to that person. So we should never get caught up in judging things as they are in that sort of situation, because they might just need somebody to reach out. They might be feeling lonely. They might just need somebody to say hello. And if we never did that, then we just stand out in the distance and judge them, then we kind of shortchange ourselves and each other. And we start tearing apart the community, our mind, and society. And ill things start to manifest from that. We just reject, deny, and ignore if we judge from afar, but we also limit ourselves and rob ourselves of our own unique power. As I was just saying, they might just need a touch or a divine, spark, something to get them going, some understanding, some acceptance, and that doesn't really come from, if we're possessed and attached to our ideas of ourselves so much, or if we're stuck in a box of knowledge, which is, knowledge is limited. I always say knowledge is evil, and then people say a whole bunch of rhetoric about the word evil, but they never ask me what I mean by evil. And what I mean by evil is injurious. They can grab a dictionary if they wanted to know more, they could get help that way. Or they could just simply ask. It basically means to ask a question instead of assuming. And that kind of causes that type of scenario when you present somebody with a shock like that. But outside the projection of what is evil and their knowledge of what is evil, is, asking the question, what do I mean, rather than assuming. So knowledge can be limiting like that, and then every moment, every second, every experience is knowledge. I'm taking in knowledge. So to get outside of the knowledge is to meet somebody and not assume. If I assume, then I stick myself back in this box of knowledge. I almost segregate myself from the above and mind before I segregate anybody out here or reject or deny out here. I have to first do it in my mind. As above, so below. And, that's basically how that works. What I'm doing up here is going to manifest out here. So if I really held tight to white people, white culture, white ideals, or I was tied back into my culture, then I would be like, a lot of these other people out here, which I don't think is our true highest potential of being. So I don't choose to go that route. And I appreciate all things of all people and all cultures. The more I can learn, the more I'm interested, and the more I find out and am surprised. So I walk around with a sense of curiosity, wonder, and enthrallment towards the mystery, as in what's next or what could be next, instead of a fear towards the mystery being what I don't know. And as for the black culture, and they're saying, some of what other people do is appropriation, I can understand that. They do want to have their own culture, and I respect that. And that's up to everybody to respect that. I really appreciate the black culture and the black community and the black person as an individual. I'm only saying black so we can differentiate in verbal communication. And, what is to come out of that type of person, which is the black community. As you can see, I think they have a lot of heart and a lot of spirit, more so than white people, and that can tend to get them in trouble. And the white person is a little more on the weaker side, and I don't really care if they hear me say that, fuck them. That's just what I think of it, and what I think is only my opinion, and they're not under law to feed into my opinion or believe that. But now I see that, they're a little more fleeting, a little more poke you and run away and hee hee ha ha, which is a whole bunch of dumb shit in my opinion. They're not really stand-up people. Some of them are. But what they do is they kind of, they're the same people too. They travel in packs and they don't feel strong unless they're in packs. And that's the way it is for everybody. I think it's an individual. There is a pack mentality to all people, as there is for dogs too. Dogs are the same way. One dog might be scared, but one dog runs in and takes a bite, and then they're all on the target. And that's just the way things are in the nature. And as humans, we come out of a nature. And we have to work with this nature. We can't just deny it or go with it fully. We kind of have to balance in the middle. Because as you can see, the nature is pretty cruel. The nature is pretty, harsh. You step on their territory and it's over. But that's how it is sometimes, even for humans. And I don't think white people really understand that a whole lot in all instances. They kind of think everything comes with a Nintendo reset button, and that they're just going to get a whole bunch of chances. But now black people out of the ghettos and things like that, they learn that you get one shot and one chance, so you could get one shot and then die in a flash. So you better be serious, and you better come correct. And I believe in that fully. I think that's a great philosophy for my own self, which is what I use that for. And Sam Harris might try to call it the moral ghetto, trying to make a joke of me, but I don't really think that's funny, and he doesn't really get it. And, that's just one of the sides of white people. They kind of just try to make a mockery of everything. They take things for granted. They can be somewhat ungrateful. Take a look at their family lives. They're the only ones hating their families and hating their parents, and all the pharmaceuticals are geared towards white people. I believe that's because they don't really have a soul, and the soul is the living God within that dissolves all conflict. They have to kind of make up a pseudo-soul and emulate one, which is a whole other topic. And then, it's where black people are a little bit different. Now, with all that type of knowledge that I'm saying here, we can't get stuck inside the knowledge. We can't let the knowledge build us up or defeat us and bring us down. The knowledge isn't what is. And we're constantly progressing each day. And we all have unlimited potential, pretty much. And that's an auspicious truth. Who could say that we have limited potential? Nobody, because nobody is the setter of limits on potential. So it really makes no sense. All we can do is try our best. Another auspicious truth. Otherwise, who in their right mind would say, no, we can't do that, we can't try our best? That's entirely insane for them to say. That's crazy. So they really can't attack a truth like that, which is what I call auspicious truth. And, as far as the other thing with all this food, being possessive over food, and saying that even food is appropriation of culture. If somebody didn't, this is how I see it, if somebody didn't like your culture, they wouldn't serve or eat your food, because then they associate you and your culture with the food, and they associate that all with negative, or with gross, or ooh, I'm not touching that. So that's kind of how that works. Nobody really has to be in the third dimension defending that kind of thing. They just have to recognize and let bygones be bygones, as you could say. And I find that true. If somebody doesn't care for the culture, they will avoid it and stay away from it at all costs. And if that's what they want to do and go be in a box of knowledge, then they become limited. And karma gets them. That's one of the ways karma gets them. Is that if they want to go into a box of a radicalized KKK group or something, then that's ignorant. That's screwed up anyway. We know that, and karma is going to get them. In the future, all that stuff is going to be gone. You can believe that. And there's just not going to be any more of this nonsense over rhetoric and Albert Einstein relativity. There's only going to be the truth. And the truth is that we're all people. And then the science is if you divide all people with rhetoric and chaff, then you manifest division and controversy. And, you know, that's pretty much all I wanted to share here today. And, you know, if anyone wants to get to know me through Facebook or anything else like that, I might be a little too rough around the edges or rugged for them, and I kind of do that on purpose. That's fine. I really wasn't looking to coddle people and baby them, because I think that's just leading us in the wrong direction. But basically, you know, I do a lot of talking, and I'm fine with sharing with other people. I don't really make a whole lot of YouTube videos, and if anyone knows me, I'm the proud white slave of black God, and I don't really give a fuck, and that's how it is.